Your love, I'm gonna make you mine. There's something special about your love. I think it's one of a kind.
Hey guys, I was gonna post a video tonight. I was actually gonna post the Honor BS video that we recorded a while ago, but the heaviness of my heart, I had to kind of scrap that, and we're literally doing like kind of like an unfiltered video about the situation. I actually started recording something earlier and it just ended up being like me crying. So I'm trying to compose myself in order to discuss a topic that continues to plague I'm not gonna, specifically say the United States. It plagues a lot of countries. The United States being one of the so-called developed nations, and it continues to happen. So I'm speaking in regards to first the shooting in New York, and now the shooting in Texas. Before I kind of, and this is not like a political thing. I kind of err towards staying away from the politics of things, but this goes beyond it. This goes beyond politics, beyond religion. It goes just into humanity. And I want to, those like moments of silence. I'm sick of having moments of silence. The coach for, I'm not even sure. I actually posted on my Instagram. But he's a NBA coach, and he said it so perfectly. Like, those moments of silence, they mean nothing at this point. We have become numbed to the reality of what's happening. And like, you hear Kellan playing in the background, and I think about the parents that don't hear that right now, that are not hearing their children laugh, that are not going to see their children get to enjoy summer break, and it kills me. So to the parents, to the siblings, to all the family members that have experienced this loss of their children, to the family members of the people who have passed in New York, I pray for your strength. I pray that that there will be a better day, that their lives will not go without purpose. But, we've said this before. There's been multiple shootings since, like, people always talk about Columbine. How old were we when Columbine happened?
I was in high school, like maybe 10th grade, so.
And it continues to happen. It happened before Columbine, and it happens after Columbine. And it continues to happen. And, if, like, we started this channel to document our journey and to make a change, whatever small it may be, to have that impact. And if just these words out of my mouth can reach the family members, can reach these senators, these local officials, whoever has the power to make a change, listen. There are families crying. There are children that are in fear of going to school. There are people in fear of going to church. People in fear of going to the supermarket now. This is sick. And like I said, I don't want to get into this being a political debate, a religious debate, a supremacy debate, but this has to change. And I'm sick of having this conversation. And it just shows that no one is free from the possibility of this. And if the pandemic didn't change your perspective about how precious life is, I don't know if this is going to change anything. But I pray that it will.
All right, so Lisa asked me if I wanted to say anything, and initially I didn't, just because I kind of knew how Lisa felt and how Lisa's message was going to be so starchly different from my message about that and my feelings towards the shooter. And I don't think we're on two different pages. I just think we're coming at it with two different like perspectives at this point. And I am going to just try not to be edited out of this video because I am not going to be as polite as I feel Lisa is trying not to offend people or trying not to get closed out by people. And I don't care anymore.
But that's just my general personality.
I don't care anymore. I am tired of having debates with people about stupid things, about saying silly arguments. Like if you are hiding behind the argument of, oh, everyone blames the guns. What about mental health issues? Okay. Are you proposing that we actually do something about mental health? Or do you just want to say mental health until the 5 seconds of our goldfish attention span finds something else in the news cycle? Because nobody's actually proposing anything be done about mental health. Nobody's saying let's expand healthcare. And yes, I am a proponent of universal healthcare for us in America, the richest nation on earth, right? But again, Lisa doesn't want to get political, but there's no way for this not to be political because there is policies that need to change.
And how do we change them?
Policies need to change. I don't pretend to know the answers to all of this. And I don't want to also find the only emotion that men are allowed to have, which is anger. To hear my son in the background, the only thing that I can selfishly say is that I'm glad my son is only 2 right now and I don't have to have this conversation with him. He's not in school. He's not in preschool. I don't have to have this conversation with him. I literally watched a video a few minutes ago of someone posting, and it was a dad crying and saying how he's starting to feel like he's a bad father or a neglectful father just raising a child in this country. And before somebody says he's being hyperbolic and dramatic and all of that, just think about the fact that even if somebody is over dramatic, they're starting to feel guilty about raising a child in this country. So if you're one of these, this is the greatest nation on earth, you should feel that policies need to change so that someone feels shameful for raising their child and subjecting their child to unnecessary like health risk, unnecessary morbidity that we live with. Just statistically having the chance of dying in schools or anywhere. I don't agree with the idea that it happens everywhere in the world. It might technically happen everywhere, right? But let's be realistic. Statistically, we are number 1. It's time to address that. It's time to address that. Like, what is the problem? Who needs to die? Who needs to get hurt or shot or who needs to be harmed for this to stop? For somebody to just stop saying, oh, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Oh, mental health, that is all just excuses. Just screaming out mental health doesn't do anything. Sound
bites that
talking points
that we're
little
not,
stupid phrases that mean nothing. And it's sad that now spiritual people are now being attacked, because now when they actually have genuine prayers, the whole idea of thoughts and prayers has been like, it just has become this stupid, meaningless term now. Because without any action, without actually using any mechanisms to change policy around this, it's just something that you're gonna do every time. Oh, this gun, why? Mental health. Okay, so basically what you're saying is, let's just do nothing. Let's try nothing, because nothing is going to work.
That's the thing on, the Senate floor. It's like back and forth of, let's change this. Well, let's make this type of gun illegal. Let's make that type of gun illegal.
I don't even think the gun should be illegal. Just make it more restrictive to get it. Just make it that that's all. I'm not saying that, listen, this is the land of America where you can buy a hamburger that has 15 rows of bacon and 5 stacks of beef on it that can just clog your arteries in 3 bites. I am not saying let's stop you from being able to buy this gun or that gun or the power of 50 cal or whatever nonsense you feel necessary to make yourself, if guns are your collectors. But I want you to think about what you're saying. You don't even want it to be, as a responsible gun owner, more restrictive for people who are not as responsible as you to get that said gun. You would pass all of these restrictions if you're as responsible as you're making yourself out to be, right? So you can still own all your guns, but what you're saying is your collection, your vice, your hobby is so important and needs so much access that you want to give blanket access to everybody, including those who are not responsible. Nowhere close to as responsible, because it might infringe on your hobby. So your hobby is worth dying for. Your hobby is worth someone killing for. I'm done with this debate. I don't care if it's political. If you don't want to watch us or watch me particular, because I think that something needs to be done, that some policy needs to be done. There has to be some kind of restriction on not just everybody blanket access to this. I'm done with you. Done. If I need to pander to you and pretend that it is okay for this to happen, for you to watch, don't watch. We're having this happen too often. Something needs to be done about the access of these, not the particular ones. Don't get into straw man arguments over, well, what's the difference between an AR-15 and I don't care what you want to own. Own it. I don't care. All I'm saying is the bar should be raised on who can own that. I need to pass a test to drive a car.
Exactly.
And then go back and prove that I have a certain vision until a certain age and all kinds of stuff. And none of those items are intended purpose of a motor vehicle is not murder.
It's true. All right, guys. So those are 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents about the topic. Again, to the families that are going through it, my heart, our hearts reach out to you, and we dedicate ourselves to however long we dedicate ourselves to speaking on this and calling our senators and congressmen, congresswomen to make a change. And that's my plea to you guys that are watching, is that you call your congressmen, congresswomen, and your senators, and you can write letters, you call them. Their office numbers and their addresses are on websites all over. I'll try to find a list of some sort that I could post in the description. And we continue to speak the names of these victims and actually make a change. Dan is frustrated. I am frustrated. We are emotional. We are just fed up.
I think it's one of a kind. There's something special about your love. I want it all the time. You will always be my inspiration.